A who? Yeah, lots of stuff gets delivered, and that's unfortunately where it's headed. Mr. Torres, there he. What are you doing in your
Hey,
car, Mr. Torres? You're
oh,
in
I
your
didn't know
car.
my camera was supposed to be off so I could keep the secret.
Yeah, I just stopped it on mine. Does that mean I stopped it on the whole thing? Yep. Yeah, I never know how though. Hold on. Can I exit? All right, thank you, because I don't want to touch it. This is the good one.
Oh, Barbara Shay, before we start the meeting, quick question.
Uh-huh.
Are we gonna have access to the big printers during summer school?
Oh, here? Yeah, I mean, I would say you'd have access to one of them.
Okay.
No, I don't hear it. Okay, we're good then. I hope I don't hear it. Let me in. Oh, I have to let you in? Okay, hold on, everybody. Hold on. Admit all. Oh, yeah, you're in now. Right. Mr. Torres, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, I mean, I think you'd be able to use one of them. I don't know about all of them, but one of them.
Okay, yeah, because I know Ms. Glover was
I know.
asking.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could manage that. As long as you guys bring paper.
Yeah, I'm ordering paper tonight for they gave us a budget.
Oh, okay,
So
good. Yeah.
I'm actually in charge of doing that part, so I need to finalize it.
Okay, yeah, I would order, yes, as long as you order paper, I think we can make that happen. I mean, I'll still be here, so I guess we can make that happen.
We do not have quorum, so we're gonna wait. Does anyone
Yeah.
have,
Hey, Miss Green,
Hello,
how are you feeling?
much better. Thank you for asking.
Wait, you weren't feeling well?
My allergies really had me, and my meds, I've been taking them here and there, and I get drowsy. I didn't sleep well. Had a real
Oh no.
headache the other day that was really difficult for me to shake.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Miss Green.
Well, thank you for asking. I'm much better.
Good. I'm gonna call her right now. You want me to call her?
yes,
Did everyone forget? Like,
it's the end of the year. I think so.
yeah, I wouldn't blame them. It's a lot going on right now.
Okay. Are you coming to me? Okay, thank you. Coming in now. Miss Johnson. Hey, Miss Johnson.
It's Baker. She just
Hey,
I mean, Miss Baker. It just says
it's
Chelsea Johnson.
it does say
Hello,
Chelsea
Chelsea
Johnson.
Baker.
Look, that's my old name. There you go.
You need to change that. Get that
I
changed.
know it keeps going back. I have retyped it so many times and it pops back up there.
mine
It's
does that
okay.
as well.
Okay. All right. I have not turned the recording on yet, Aisha Fambro, that I know of. Have I?
No, please don't, Principal Shay. We're gonna wait a couple more
Okay.
seconds, minutes, for at least.
No, I mean, yeah, if we don't have enough to have a meeting, I mean, I can't stand seeing myself on this other screen, so I'm gonna turn it off. I just turned the picture off. That's too much. Oh, Miss Belil's in the waiting room. There we go. And then there's somebody else, Miss Hicks. Oh, how are we looking now?
I think we should be good.
Yeah, that should be enough.
I'll leave that up to the pro.
I don't know who that is.
And she's the quorum pro.
Who is the quorum?
Miss Green.
Miss Green, do we
Not
have
a
a quorum?
pro. I don't think so.
How many do we need? Do you know?
I believe it's 5.
Oh, then we're good. We have 5, don't we?
Mhm.
Yeah, because a
I mean-
couple people came on. Yeah.
Yeah, we have 7 now total.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right, y'all. We're gonna make this quick and easy. And here I go. So good. We're gonna call this afternoon/evening. Welcome to the Hollis Innovation Academy. We will follow the agenda as it has been publicly noticed. I would like to remind everyone that this is a meeting of the Go Team. Only members of the Go Team may participate in the discussion. Any members of the public present are here to quietly observe. For the members of the Go Team, oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm good. For the members of the Go Team, please identify yourself when you speak. I am pleased to call this meeting of the Hollis Innovation Academy's Go Team to order at 5 p.m. Our first order of business is to call roll. The secretary will now call roll.
Barbara Shea,
Present.
Carla Moore, Billy Walker, Monica Taylor, Chelsea Baker,
Present.
Javier Torres,
Present.
Aisha Fambro,
Present.
Mario Hicks,
Present.
Sherry Belil,
Present.
and I am Letitia Green, present.
This team will only be able to take official action if a quorum is present. Mrs. Green, is there a quorum present?
Yes.
All right, so we will move right along. So our first order of business is to approve the agenda. And the agenda is very simple. I'll zoom in. So we've already done the first 2, called it to order and establish quorum. And so right now we're at the approval of agenda. We'll have to approve our previous minutes. We'll talk about spring map results, which that is, let's take this off. Oh, I can't edit it. Okay. We'll do a needs assessment on the spring map results and compare it to fall. So that's like the meat of the work. And then Principal Shea will do a report. And we will have a cluster advisory team report potentially, and then we'll talk about Go Team election and pretty much adjourn the meeting. So I'll let you kind of, look at it. It's really simple. Are there any changes that need to be made to the agenda? May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda.
A second.
A second.
All in favor, please say aye so the secretary can record your vote.
Aye.
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 All opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions, please say abstain. All right, the agenda has been approved. We're gonna move right along. We will now review and approve the meeting minutes from our last meeting. The minutes have been provided on our school's website, but of course, I'm going to display it here and roughly, peruse it on screen. And after that, we'll see if it can be approved. We approve the final budget. Discuss staffing. It was adjourned. Are there any corrections? May I have a motion to approve the previous meeting's minutes?
Motion to approve.
A second?
Second.
Second.
Perfect. All in favor, please say aye. All opposed?
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any abstentions, please say abstain. All righty, that was quick. Good job. All right, so we will now move on to the discussion items on our agenda, which, as I've already stated, it will be our 2025 spring map results. And so the data points we want you to consider, of course, are the spring results in itself. And then we want you to compare the literacy to numeracy scores, which is just reading and math. So again, the students just took a spring map test, I believe, was it last month?
Yeah. It was right before we went home.
Was
I
it
think.
March? Principal Shah, I
It was
think
the
so.
end of, it was at the end of
Yeah.
March or first of
Yep.
April. Yeah. Before we went home for spring break.
Perfect. So this is fresh data, and I will kind of walk us through understanding it. But many of you have seen this data already, and if you haven't, here it is on the screen. So I will start off by saying that kindergarten and first grade did not take this assessment, but this still represents majority of our students in well, they actually did, but this is more so compared to GMAS. So let me retract that statement. The kindergarten and first grade students did take the assessments, but it is not in relation to the milestones. So we have second through eighth for that reason. So red means that these students potentially may test on the beginning level if they were to take a milestone this spring. The yellow means that these students will test on a developing level in that grade level. And developing just means that they are kind of ready for the next grade level. And then the green, the lighter green, represents that they are pretty much prepared for the next grade level. And the dark green represents the amount or the percentage of students in each grade level that are overly prepared, aka distinguished. And so I'll give you a second to look at it. Here is the number of students in each grade level. And then, of course, it's the percentage according to that particular number. And this is reading, by the way. So we just want you to observe the data. We'll discuss it on the next slide. Or not really. So kind of think of the things that stand out to you. Now we'll move on to the comparison. So you just saw the spring data. And our students also take a very similar assessment in the fall. And so you may have maybe one or two more students per grade level because we do get students that, come in and enroll. So from fall, second grade, 50% beginning, but in spring, it was 61%. And that kind of is the same concept for every grade level. And again, this is reading data. And I'll also put a link to this, and please let me know if you can open it. But I'll share a link in the chat just in case you want to come back once we start discussing and kind of have the data display at your leisure. So give me 1 second to figure out how to post this in the chat. Chat, here it goes. And please let me know if you can access it. Otherwise, I'm going to have to change the settings. We're going to move right along to math. So this is second through eighth grade math. Again, this data is from APS Graphs. Yes, go third grade. I know that's right. Um, so this map looks slightly better in certain areas. And again, this data is basically saying that this is potentially because things could change for the better. But currently, based on what the students scored this spring, which was last month, this is where our students would potentially place for the milestone. And I know the red bars are a little bit bigger, but please give us some, credit for those greens in each grade level. Give you a couple more seconds to look at this. And again, 2nd through 8th, as you can see, and this is math spring map. And it appears our largest grade level is 6, according to the exams taken. All right, and I'm going to compare the fall, which means our students came in a certain way, and the spring means that our students are leaving a certain way based on the data. So 2nd grade, 32%, 41%. That's how we want you all to kind of read it and compare. Some of the green got much bigger in the spring. All right, if I'm moving too fast, please let me know, but we will begin to have our discussion. And I just want to kind of guide it by saying that during our needs assessment that we're about to conduct, we just want to look at data from the Spring Maps Administration and identify 2 to 3 potential needs for the next school year, which would be the 25-26 year. This discussion will help the school leadership as they prepare for the 25-26 school year. So the guiding questions that we want you to think about is, what does this data tell us? What good news is there to celebrate? Where are growth opportunities? And what trends do we see in the data? And I'll let Barbara Shea guide those questions. But after we answer those questions, we'll have to kind of box the strengths, list the opportunities in this box or table, and then we have to come up with our 3 needs, top 3 needs. So I'll let you have it, Barbara Shea, Principal Shea.
So if we, well, I don't want to, if you want to go back, we can go back. But the data tells us that we still have work to do. That's one thing the data tells us. But historically, spring map scores always are worse than fall. And I can't tell you why, but it's historic through the district, not just here. But what, when we get these scores, we use them to make decisions about what's next for our kids. So when we got these scores in early April, like 2-3 weeks ago, we hunkered down and made up new groups, new remediation groups, new groups with kids to work on some of the deficit areas that we saw. But we also have seen some growth in the green and some growth in the yellow. We don't like that our red seems to be getting a little bigger. But we also, when you talk to teachers, a lot of that doesn't make sense to them. They didn't see that coming. They didn't understand why this child answered this way that day. But the one thing that is getting in our way is attendance. Attendance is still, it's still a problem for us. And even though we've put lots of things in place and it's gotten somewhat better, it's the consistency of getting kids to school and having them come every day. And that is always going to hit us in test scores. We are celebrating attendance. We are celebrating kids that come 5 days in a row. But it is an uphill battle, and it's a battle that we fought all year. And I believe it's a battle that was fought last year as well, if I remember the history correctly. We are still optimistic about our scores for the upcoming milestones. The teachers have a lot of optimism. We are till the end working on remediation with our kids, right before they start testing. So we use this data to guide us. We don't use this data to beat ourselves up. We use this data to guide us. What was the second question, Miss Fambro? What good news is there to celebrate? Well, we have more green. We have more kids who are proficient or higher than we did before. And we also can tell you that our data from last year to this year looks better. So, we know we're making some growth. We know we have a long way to go, but we are moving in the right direction. Our growth opportunities, of course, are still in the areas of math and reading. And we are looking at that as we prepare for next year. Next year we will get new standards for reading in the district, in the state. These are from Georgia, and that gives us a lot of opportunity for growth because it's going to be a different approach, and we have new curriculum coming out and new resources. What trends do we see in the data? Can you go back to the data? The trends are that I'm not going to say the data is flat because it's not flat, but we're not growing, especially in beginning, at the rate that we want to. We are not. But it's a process, and we're going to work our way through it. I know that, fifth grade stands out like a sore thumb, sadly. And that's because we've had some change in fifth grade this year, and it's been a little bit of a struggle to kind of get back on track. But we have an excellent teacher in there, and she's doing a stellar job. So we are hopeful that that things will get better especially in the area of math for the upcoming milestones.
I'll go back to reading. Yeah, the Wi-Fi's a little off. I'm trying my best.
That's all right. That's okay. The same thing it's the same in reading. We went up where we shouldn't have, but we also came down in some areas. We came down in third grade. Thank you, Ms. Baker, for pointing that out. Things are getting much better in third grade. Third grade is a critical grade, so we feel very comfortable that our kids are progressing at a much better rate than they had been at the very beginning of the year. But we still have too many kids in beginning, and we still need to look at that. We'll still have next year content specialists that will be doing pullouts with kids. And we believe they can be difference makers as we keep moving.
We already talked about trend. I'm trying to move this out of the way. Okay.
That's okay.
So we have to talk about our strengths and opportunities. And then you kind of spearheaded that conversation, but if anyone wants to add to it as well, please feel free to enter in the chat or come off mute. But based on Barbara Shea's points about our school data, we have to determine the points of strength and opportunities for improvement, and we have to summarize them below. So I actually have to come out of full screen to type in this. Why am I I don't know how to do that. There we go. All right, so I shared the PowerPoint. Could any of you open it potentially? Because if not, we're going to have to keep going back to the screens, which is fine.
Oh, okay.
What third grade is a strength? We can start there.
Yep.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, I noticed that third grade decreased the number of they increased their developing, and they decreased the what's the red section called?
Beginning.
Beginning. So they decreased their beginning, which stood out to me immediately when I saw those scores.
I'm going to abbreviate. What subject was that, by the way? Let's see. Or was it both? Let's see, reading. Okay, so definitely it's reading.
Yeah.
And then not so much math.
Math is it's 36 to 38.
Oh, okay.
but
But
definitely in
it's
reading.
still under, I like that it's still under 50% though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I'm
do
like,
too. Thank you. I
And
mean, it's a step in the right direction. You know, it's a step in the right direction as long as we keep going in the right direction.
I'm going to piggyback off of Mrs. Baker and say that a area of opportunity and an area for us to improve is that half of the students in other grade levels. Because I mean, even though 45 is 45, if you round, it's 50, right? So in many of the other areas, half of our students potentially may not be prepared for the milestone, but specifically in reading. It's not so much in math. If you look at the numbers, you have 41, 38. We already talked about fifth grade, so we're not going to go there. But we do have an area of opportunity with half of our students in
Mhm.
majority of our. So I guess we could say potentially using content specialists or just 50% of our students need more support. We can say that.
Mhm.
That's what I noticed.
Right.
so when I see that kind of movement on these kind of charts, I always kind of question what are they doing different
Mhm.
than the other grade levels. And maybe that's something we can kind of look into. What are they doing
That's true.
different? Because
That's true.
that may be something helpful for another grade level.
I mean, and we, if we've been in education as long as some of us have, we know that third grade is a game changer, and it's a tough. I mean, it can be tough, and our kids are still pushing through. So that's exciting. That's exciting, and that's a great point. What are they doing that's tweaking in a different way?
Was it okay to say that area of opportunity is to leverage even though this is a strength as well, but an opportunity is we should leverage third grade teachers to support staff with instructional strategies? Is that safe to say?
Yes, I
Yeah.
mean it's
Yeah.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
You pointed out oh yeah, specifically with third grade though, I was thinking what I know about our school to be true is that once you look at fifth through eighth, right, we have singletons. From what I know, if I and correct me if I'm wrong because I'm more so fifth through eighth right now, but third grade has two general ed teachers to teach math, right?
Yes.
And so that is a game changer as well because you have one person, and that's not to say that this one person potentially is not putting their best effort. Two brains are always better than one, right? So maybe that is an area of opportunity about maybe we should
Excuse
operate
me.
more vertically potentially because we only have one teacher per grade. We can't change that, but maybe finding a way to plan vertically that may help. But I do know that's a big difference for majority of our tested grade levels is third and fourth are the only ones who have two brains, right? And
Yes.
then when you think about the other grades, have to go off of.
Excuse me. Sorry.
And the data kind of shows that if you look at it in third and fourth, they kind of pretty much have the lowest beginning. I mean, sixth and seventh are right there, but yeah. So
That's
that's
me.
something to
Sorry.
point out too. You're fine. Fifth grade, obviously. Would y'all say that's an area of opportunity that we can put down? Fifth grade.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Seventh
But
grade,
next
seventh grade
year they'll be our
also.
sixth graders. So,
But fifth has the
we need
lowest
to be
actually
on the watch
enrolling.
for that next year. Yeah.
Oh no, sixth grade is reading.
Seventh grade also
Okay.
decreased their number of developing as well. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
And they their green section went up a lot too. Seventh grade in
Right.
math, I believe.
They're still good to see, even though that red is just kind of right there in your face. They're still good to see. I mean, things that are going in the right direction is is a positive.
Biggest jump. So maybe we'll just say fifth grade math is an opportunity. Future sixth graders.
Yes, I mean, it's something that we need to be on almost as soon as the year starts with the sixth graders to make sure we're putting remediations in place that will help them be more successful.
I agree. I saw something that was a big green jump. I don't know which grade it was. Let's see, fourth, five, yes, fourth grade. So if we look at math, this is an area of strength. They had 5% proficient, right? And then
Yes, right.
down here, they have 16%.
Mhm.
So that's a huge jump if I'm reading this right, because the numbers are kind of throwing me off.
You're reading it right.
So
You're
yeah,
reading it right.
that's definitely.
It's an increase, yes.
And I see something in the chat. Give me 1 second. I'm going to read it. Fourth grade math increased in efficient. All right, and what is in the chat? Eighth grade decreased in beginning. Yes, that it. Come on now. Thank you, Mr. Torres.
Thank you, Mr. Torres.
You know, I look out for my grade level.
Don't be
There's no
selfish.
favoritism.
Mr. Torres, if you could look at other grade levels, that would be helpful. You're on the team.
What content, Mr.
You're
Torres?
right, you're
That's
right.
math, right?
Yes.
Okay, eighth grade decrease in beginning learners. Math. Right, let's see. And when we look at content wise, right, would you say, of course, we have room for improvement in both, but just to keep the conversation going and maybe spark new thoughts, would you say that we need the most support in reading, or would you say that we need the most support in math, or should they get the equal amount of extra support based on the data? And I'll just, display the reading again. And
Both.
I'd say both.
okay.
I'd say they still need both, and it'll be interesting next year with the new standards in reading and new curriculum all around. So,
I
but I'd
agree.
say both. I'd say both.
Yeah, I agree. Because especially as we get into the word problems and stuff, they need to make sure they understand and they're able to read fluently. So yeah, we still need to be able to support them in both.
I agree.
Maybe even look in ways to make a cross-curricular situation for remediation.
Yeah.
We can put down opportunities. Cross-curricular. I can't. Oh, it's not red, so I spelled it right.
You did.
Implementation, cross-curricular.
And also, maybe looking into adding more PBLs into our learning experiences for the kids, because you can get that cross-curricular piece if you have more project-based learning. You can do math and literacy in the same lessons, honestly.
And math and science in the same lesson. And yeah,
There you go.
so we could be spending a lot of time doing those things.
I know it's, a little hard, but we need another strength, guys.
Well,
let's get math in potentially.
I mean, we jumped in the green in math.
Yeah, in
from
second, actually.
fall to
Second
spring.
grade. Second grade is below 50% for their on both.
They sure, yeah.
Isn't it?
Okay.
Second grade.
Perfect. Okay. Second grade. You said below 50%. And I also heard that we jumped in green in math. Several grades increased in proficient. I'm just gonna abbreviate that. Math students. Okay. And do we have anything else to add right now? We still have to do like our top 3 needs, but this can kind of guide our thoughts as we list those top 3. And so based on our responses, what must be true for Hollis Innovation Academy to achieve excellence? What must happen next school year, 2025 to 2026? What are our top 3 needs? I mean, I know the content wise, right? ELN math. We know that, but what can we specifically say today that we need?
We need our students to come to school on a regular basis like daily.
Student attendance
Yep.
to increase and become consistent daily. Okay, that they have to be here for sure.
They have to be here. You know,
Teacher, ooh, teacher attendance, student and
yep.
I'll take.
Thank you, Mr. Torres, for reminding us, students and teachers.
All right, so that, I mean, that is a start to anything. You can't increase math, right?
No,
With one being here, so that's a great start. I would say a need is to maybe strategically plan for interventions. There you go, teacher support. That's basically what I'm getting at. So teacher / content support. Whatever that looks like. I don't even want to get too specific because it could be a multitude of things. So we'll keep that. Thank you, Ms. Baker. And let's see, we have to have 3, and
I would say get the parents involved around reading a math where they understand where their child level of reading and what their child needs to know. It needs to be some awareness around the parents so they can own the value of lifting the scores for reading or math.
okay, so parent involvement. Do y'all want to combine that with 2, or do y'all
We
want to?
can. Let's combine it with 2.
Okay, now we can keep it separately because that could be its own big idea. But I think.
I mean, I think if we had a need, then maybe perhaps it could be more like parent workshops or parent, you know, especially with the new standards in ELA. That's one thing. But if we had helping parents help their kids, things parents could do at home to just sort of reinforce the things that we're doing, that we try to do here.
That's a major lift. So thank you, Mrs. Blau.
So parent workshops around reading and math, learning the new standards.
I love that. I'm sitting here trying to think. So if y'all see me looking up, that's kind of how I get my thoughts. Support. Oh, resources. I think that's probably one of the biggest needs, right? Whatever that looks like.
Yes.
But we can keep going until we get that third one because it's the last one. But if everyone's okay with maybe curriculum resources, whatever that looks like, books, technology, I think that's a huge need for both.
Yes.
Okay. Resources to support, instruction. Jobs. Oh, how can we implement?
Yeah, and it's not even that we don't have resources. We need enough resources.
There you go.
We need resources so that we don't have to share, I mean, we shouldn't have to share. That kind of waters things down when we can't put our hands on what we need.
Adequate. There you go. More and why can't I see more and adequate? Make sure we highlight that because we do have resources, but
yes, we do.
We need to have enough.
But we don't always have enough of the one thing we need, let's just say. Flyleaf being a perfect example of that this year.
I'm just adding on Mrs. Baker's thoughts for the parent workshops. I think this is a good list.
Thanks, Ray.
Yeah.
All right. And so with our needs assessment comes the next step. So principals and Principal Shea will talk more about principal. But the principals will spend the summer preparing for next school year, as we all know. And they will use our needs assessment to guide their work. Our schools will begin meeting after July 1st to organize their go teams for the year. During the first business meeting in fall 2025, principal and the go teams will review strategic priorities and metrics for the year. So thank you all for the discussion. It was very rich and healthy. And we will now move on to our information items. And first on that is the principal's report.
So the GMAS testing will begin, Georgia Milestones begins next Monday. We will be testing from, I'm looking at my calendar because I'm just, we'll be testing from the 28th of April all the way through May. Well, May 14th is the last day of makeup. I believe that the test will end around the May 9th. We're testing, of course, multiple grades in the building, and it's going to take us 2 full weeks to get through it. So, we're just begging and pleading for people to get their babies here on time and every day. And we had a big pep rally today to tell the kids, that there will be rewards and treats if they are here every day and well rested, because that's another thing that we fight is kids just putting their heads down and going to sleep during a test. I mean, it's tough, and you'll ask them and they'll tell you, I stayed up too late playing a game. So we'll be sending out some things to the parents over this weekend about please take away electronics and let your babies go to bed. That would be a wonderful thing. We have a variety of activities coming up in really in the month of May to celebrate the students. We will have awards day for every grade level. Let's see, I can tell you when. The week of the 19th of May, we will have a performance by our drama department on the 15th of May. We have lots of things to do once testing is over. We have 2 field days for the elementary, field day for middle. We have a lot of great things that we're looking forward to doing to celebrate the end of the year with our kids. I'm going to skip new school leadership and go to summer school, and I'll just come back to new school leadership. Summer school is for middle school will be held here at Hollis. It will be at M. Agnes Jones for our elementary kids. It starts, I want to say June 1st. Who knows? It's working summer school. Because I'm not working summer school.
Mr. Torres knows.
June 2nd.
June 2nd. Oh, that's Monday. Thank you so much. And it goes through the end of June. It's if it's elementary, it's the regular elementary school hours. If it's a middle school student, it's the traditional middle school hours, which is, I want to say 9:15 to like 4:45. So
9:15 to 4:15 for students. Teachers will be dismissed at 4:45.
I guess that's why I said that. I knew that something about that 45. I knew 4:45 was. So we're excited. We have quite a few of our elementary school students have registered for summer school, and more of our middle schoolers than last year have registered for summer school. So we're excited and hope that that's going to give them a kind of a foot up, because summer school will primarily be reading and math and some fun activities mixed in there. So it's not just all come to school and sit and do reading and math all day. We want to talk about some of the family engagement things we did this year, which were hugely successful. We had family game night with a spaghetti dinner in first semester, and we had This Is It and a movie during second semester, and we had a fabulous turnout of it, over 200 people each time. So we know that our parents will come. We just have to, get them here as much as we can next year. We had curriculum night at the beginning of the year, as of course you'll have it again. And the next area is partnership highlights. We want to send big shout outs to Peachtree United Methodist, who has funded our culinary arts program through the end of this year, which means they've bought all the food and worked with us to make it so that we have our culinary arts class for our 8th graders, and one elementary school student is in there because she wants to be a chef. And it's a once a week thing, and it's a partnership that we formed with Washington High School. So it's been wildly successful and a lot of fun for the kids. Our PTA has been fabulous for us this year. They have given us snacks for for milestones, and we are forever grateful. Ms. Belil, I know you're there, and thank you so much. Mercedes-Benz and Westside Future Funds have been our two main funders this year, and we could not have survived without them. And I know we don't need to go back over the fact that we had lots of debt when we entered into this school year. We had lots of debt that we were tasked with getting to the bottom of. And I will say that when they gave us our spreadsheet, it had 497 lines of debt. Things that, and it went back several years. It wasn't just last year or the year before. And those lines are now down to 14. And I think those will be cleared up before I leave. So hopefully we will at least be back on in the black next year with our funding. And I know that next year's budget, of course, was cut, but we did build in some money that we weren't able to do last year. And I can't say thank you enough to the people, the partners that helped us, Mercedes-Benz, PTA, Westside Future Funds, and Peachtree United Methodist Church. And it's just a big thank you. We had other partners who did things like came out and read to the kids and did all kinds of wonderful things as well. And they have made this year really special in a lot of ways. So that's a huge, big, gigantic thank you from me. I will say that we have one more meeting scheduled for this year. We don't have to have it because we've had all of our meetings. But we will have it if we get the new principal named and you want to have a sort of an informal go-team meeting to meet the new principal. We will be happy to do that would be later in May. We, of course, new school leadership is coming. I don't know as much as perhaps Ms. Belil knows, but I do know that it's going to be a man because the 3 candidates that made it to the top are all men. That's pretty much what I can tell you. I do know that this year the district is going to try to make it so that they don't start July 1st, that they spend some time here with me before I go, so that we can just sort of get to know things. And especially with us being a state school, there's lots of information that they need to be aware of in terms of the expectations for next year. We are going to do all that we can to get everything ready for the new leadership so that they're not doing some of the grunt work. They're going to get to just jump in and work on getting to know staff and looking at our needs. And I'm really excited for that for Hollis. And if this is our last meeting, I just want to thank everybody for always coming to these meetings and being very supportive of me. One of the toughest meetings I had was the budget meeting where I had to tell you that it was ugly, that we lost 17 people and $3 million. And I just appreciate the support because that's a hard pill to swallow. And it was certainly a hard pill for me to deliver. So thank you for your support this year. You've made my year nice. And I totally appreciate how I've been treated since I walked in the door. So thank you. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, Principal Shay. We will now move on to our additional information items. First up is a cluster advisory team report, but I do not believe Mrs. Collmore is here. So we will skip that for now. Go team elections are happening right now. Voting has been open since April 16th and will close on April 25th. You can find the candidates at this website on the screen, apsstrongschools.com. Excuse me, but households have been sent a unique link based upon information in Infinite Campus. And school staff will be sent a link to their APS email address, which probably has already been sent out. We have some announcements for the Go Team members, which is everybody on this call. Complete your end of year surveys. It's available now. Check your email for the link. We have a principal feedback survey and a Go Team satisfaction survey. Please complete your required trainings ASAP and contact the Go Team office with any questions. And does anyone else have any additional announcements? Is someone talking? I don't think. Okay. All right, so we have reached the end of our agenda. Is there any additional business at this time? All righty, well, we will move forward and I will ask, may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
A second?
Second.
All in favor, please say, oh, well, we just do the regular one. All in favor, please say aye. It says raise your hand, but.
Aye.
All right, all opposed, say nay. Please don't say that. All right, so meeting is adjourned. Y'all have a great night. Thank you for a great meeting.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Fred. Thank you, Ms. Sandra.
Thank you, Mr. Torres. Thank you, everyone.
All righty, you can end it.